All Vitality had to do was win this one round here, and they win Blast Open London, denying G2, who actually lifted the trophy. But what ends up happening is they go for a B execute, give up a few kills through the CT smoke, Hunter's allowed to already be on this fast flank, which causes enough chaos for G2 to close out the round. And this all develops right from the beginning, where out of spawn, Matisse is going to drop a nade smoke and a flash for Molbs over at B, and Hunter's going to smoke barrels at Banana to stop any kind of fast take from Vitality. And the strategy here is not a new one, right? Stack top middle with 4 players, play 1 player at B recycling smokes, and hope you either delay them for long enough or they take top mid and you can win that fight. Vitality on the other hand do a very standard kind of default. Flames and Rops come here towards second mid, the Molotov goes in towards halls, and people find themselves in their usual positions. Flames goes underpass after starting with Rops, and once he's checked that no one's peeking down middle, gets into a position to smoke off the arch side at top middle. He regroups with his team right as that smoke's fading to have this 4-1 default with Rops over towards halls. The timing is very efficient from Vitality. As soon as this smoke's fading, they're ready to start walking up Banana. The other really cool thing Vitality did before this was to make sure that G2 weren't trying to walk down and do some kind of aggressive play behind this smoke. They had Zywoo under armor nade and flashed behind him just to clear anyone off a couple of seconds before that smoke was going to disappear. And it's here you have to keep praising both teams. Vitality doing a great job of taking Banana, very thorough with Flames playing anti-flash, but Malbs also does a great job here of landing this juicy nade onto top Banana. And again, this is a small detail which you wouldn't normally pick up on. He flashes wide like someone was going to peek from this corner to clear top Banana. And what are the T's going to do? They're going to clear that off very quickly after they hear that flash to make sure no one was peeking or creeping him towards sandbags, which is when he's going to nade and do a ton of damage. He also knew they were probably coming up Banana because there'd been nothing happening at top middle and nothing happening in halls. That is until 1 or 2 seconds after this nade where Rops starts to work it, this flash, before quickly regrouping. Vitality return the favor with a really cool nade of their own. They nade spawn at the same time that Zywoo peaks, hoping to get a kill if you land a couple of body shots and that nade lands perfectly. They just get the tag up on towards Malbs, who smartly smokes and also uses his flash here because he doesn't want Vitality to pop off this contact, and if he flashes, there's just a little bit less chance of that, even though really that probably wasn't going to happen here. And if we pause to look at the macro, you can see what Vitality have tried to do. They smoked off Arch early to make sure no one could be holding that information on towards top mid, and they flashed holes to show presence, which means that in G2's mind, from Vitality's point of view, there could be someone in Boiler, which means, again, spotting top mid from this short area becomes difficult because you've got to deal with the boiler angle and the top mid angle. Now, what G2 were doing is they weren't even looking at middle. They were just waiting for you to take mid and potentially try and peek arch or peek short. So this conditioning util makes sense for Vitality, but it actually has no impact on G2's plan for this round. And it's that movement you just saw from Hunter which put things into motion for them. He swings here, doesn't even check Boiler. Look at his crosshair placement, only worried about bottom mid. He's not buying this at all. And he quickly goes into apartments and checks it. And that's because of 2 things. One, he knows that there was probably 3 players at B not too long ago when that nade peak happened. And he knows there was someone in apartments, which is where Rops was. If Vitality was going to rotate back here and hit A after their B pressure, that Apps player probably wouldn't have left, right? He's going to stay and hold that area of the map. So he goes into apartments, goes looking for him. When he sees that player has left, that means they're probably going B, which is why you see the Arch players start to rotate off. He pushes aggressively out balcony, and Heavy God does the final check, which says, hey, there's no one even walking up middle. So we know exactly what's happening at this moment. If we go to Hunter's Steam profile and change the .com to .gg, we can use today's sponsored Leadify to scroll down and check out his teammates that he's most likely playing with. Nexa Nico, no surprise in this scenario, and you can see if he's on a win streak or a lose streak, so you know how hard you're going to have to try. My personal favorite feature is this progress report. It prints out every 3 months and you can see what you need to improve at, or more importantly, which of your friends are team flashing you the most. There's a your match page for every game you play where you can see what you did well, what you need to improve at, and if you get a knife kill in your games and type get Leadify in all chat, you'll get a free day of pro subscription. Back to the important round now. It might look good that Hunter was able to get this information for his team, but look at how efficient Vitality are. As soon as Rops is regrouping, they're going to throw all the grenades and be ready to exec. So there's no timing here for G2 to catch, at least initially. The other problem G2 have is Malbs only has a smoke left. There was no Molotovs going into this round because of the low economy, so he can't delay for that extra little bit to let his team rotate in. In fact, the utility contrast here is insane. One smoke down for Malbs versus Vitality have done a great job of saving the utility this round. They've got 3 Molotovs to clear out these corners where these low buy weapons are effective. They've got smokes everywhere you want them. They've got flashes coming in from Apex. The pathing is beautiful. You can see as players are running through this smoke from CT because of this rotation, ZywOo sits behind this smoke. His entire job is to trade, make sure no one coming through the smoke is going to get more than 1 kill, and he does his job. Both those players get traded out, and it actually goes to a 3v2 for Vitality on the site. However, before I get to the flank from Hunter, there is one mistake here which I think changed the outcome of this round. You see, ZywOo catches the gap between these 2 smokes where he feels like he's cleared it and can be flashed through. However, the rest of his team wants to nade. Look at Flames. He walks up this smoke, holds the right click, and you can see him visibly waiting for ZywOo to get out of that smoke so he doesn't do too much damage to him. And this hesitation causes a few things. One, it means that Malbs survives. Look, he survived with 8 HP because this Molotov disappeared while trying to fight the entry fraggers. If that Molotov isn't disappearing because they're that extra 1 or 2 ticks faster, Malbs goes down quickly, which means Heavy God's rushed flash from spawn doesn't have any impact. They get the bomb down much faster, securing that site, which means they're much more likely to be aware of the flank, and Hunter's not going to have as big of an impact. However, that's not what happened. Hunter gets the flank off beautifully while they're trying to clear him out. Rops goes down, and this one flashbang that Hunter had makes a huge difference on this round. ZywOo was ready to trade, but is forced to look away and hide because of this flash, cops a little bit of damage, and then because of how much space Hunter was able to get, can't stabilize his aim and misses his last couple of shots. If he'd killed Hunter, maybe he could trade Heavy God, but Heavy God had the confidence to push in with this flash as well. He takes out Apex, who decide to stick the bomb, and then finishes off by taking out ZywOo as well. G2 win the overtime, they then take the 5th map on Train, and they're the ones lifting the trophy instead of Vitality. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe.